Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Pastor Lasandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala. Just wanted to come on this morning. We're talking about sometimes separation is just necessary. Yes, sometimes we just gotta separate. We gotta part ourselves from some people, some places, some things. Good morning unto you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Blessings unto you. Blessings unto you this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Please tag, please like, please share. Sometimes we just got to separate. Sometimes we have to come to a mutual agreement to agree to separate. Now, a lot of times we think separation is a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. When you hear of people in their relationships and they be like, child, they separate. Oh my God, that's a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing to separate. That gives you some space. That gives you some time to clear your head. That gives you a time to come apart and to get yourself together. Because sometimes simply all this we need to check us. We need to get ourselves in check, in place, in alignment with what the will of the Father is for our lives. So separation is not always a bad thing. We want to put a negative connotation on it. We want to put a negative spin on it. Sometimes you just got to separate from ministry. Sometimes you got to separate from people, places, and things. Sometimes you just got to separate your finances. Come on. So when you think about it, you get a business. Let's look at it in the positive aspect. You've started your business. Guess what? You're going to have to now separate your funds, your funding. You can't put your business funds in your personal account. There needs to be a separation, which is a good thing. So that way, you can monetize your business. You can do all type of things with your business, and that funds and the monies that you get, the resources that you get for your business goes into your business account, not your personal account. So again, separation is a good thing. So if you happen to get audited or whenever you're doing your taxes and your paperwork with the IRS, you are good because you separated your personal assets from your business assets, right? So separation is sometimes viewed as being negative, but we want to view it in the positive aspect as well as not looking at it in the negative asset perspective, shall I say, because sometimes it's necessary. We just simply got to uproot. We got to cut the cords. We got to sever the ties. We got to just cut the chains, break the chains, and just cut free from some things. Some people we got to let go. Some people we got to release. They are toxic. They bring toxicity into our life, toxicity, and just put us in a dark place and a mood. You ever walked into a place or someone comes into your company when you're sitting down, maybe at a restaurant or wherever you are, you're visiting, and then someone comes and they make their approach, and it just seems like the whole mood shifts, the whole mood changes, your vibe changes. You begin to get agitated, you begin to get frustrated. Sometimes there are people in our lives that are agitators. Agitators also can be a good thing. We're looking at positive and we're looking at negative this morning. We don't want to just see it and view it from one perspective. If you take a washing machine, for example, some washing machines have agitators in them. They're to make sure they beat them clothes real good to get them real clean. But then there are other washers that do not have agitators in them, but yet they still get your clothes clean. They still get the job done. Sometimes there are agitators that are sent to cause frustration in our lives. Sometimes agitators come to cause a distraction, to throw us off course, to bring us into a place of uncertainty and cloudiness where our vision is not clear. There is no clarity. There is distortion in our lives. Sometimes agitators come to wreak havoc. Agitators come to frustrate our environment. It comes to frustrate our world and our families and our resources. It just comes to wreak havoc. And then you have those agitators that come to get you stirred. to get you clean, to get you moving, to get you into a better perspective. It cleanses out your thinking pattern. It brings you into a clearer focus of your vision and your purpose. Agitators come twofold reason. It could be a negative or it could be a positive. So agitate, when you say, oh, here come my agitator, that don't always mean a bad thing, because some agitators bring out the best in you. It brings out the best qualities. It brings out that thing that was hidden behind the dirt. Those things that was hidden behind your hurt, hidden behind the pain. The agitator comes to bring all of that stuff up to the surface so that you can move forward in your purpose. Agitation comes, if you think about it in a perspective of washing your clothes. When you get those, you put it in there for a reason. Now, if those clothes could speak, they would tell you it doesn't feel good. It's wet, it's soggy. You have detergent in here. It doesn't taste good. It may not even smell good. But guess what? When you come and you've gone through the battering process, when you've gone through the agitation process, when you come out, you're fresher, you're cleaner, you look better, you smell better, you have, now I can wear you again. I'm not ashamed to put you on, and I don't have to be wondering if I'm carrying an odor. I have the scent and I have the fragrance of the Father. I have the scent and the fragrance of purity. But had I not got into the washing machine, had I not allowed the agitation to agitate and to beat me and to sculpt me and to wash me and to purify me and to bring all of those things out, I would not be who I am today. I could have gotten out of the agitator. I could have gotten out of the washer, shall I say, and from around the agitator. Some people are just sent to make us better. We want to be so quick to get, like it was Paul who was it said about the thorn in our side. Some people are meant to be thorns, to bring out the best in you, to show what you're really made of. You get them good clothes. We get them good clothes that we pay good money for, and we get them laundered. Come on. They even get dirty. The expensive clothes that we buy, guess what? They get dirty, just like the ones that we get at the cheaper places. Even if it's better quality, it's still going to get tainted. It's still going to get dirty. And at some point, it has to be laundered, which causes you to be agitated, to go through a process. I'm just trying to give you an analogy, and I'm trying to paint the picture for you. And I hope I'm doing that on today. You got to go through the process. You got to go through the beating. You got to go through the frustration. You got to go through the anger. Sometimes you get that phone call and you just get so agitated and so frustrated that it just throws you completely off. But the phone call was just really coming to show you what you need to work on within yourself. The phone call really comes to highlight and show you what you are made of. Okay, you talking the talk, you even walking it. But I need to see what you're going to do with this right here, because you think you have victory over this right here. You think you have overcame this particular area, but we're going to agitate you a little bit. And we're going to see what really comes out, because see, what God wants is for us to get purified. He wants us to really be cleaned deep down, not surface. Not shallow. He wants to deep clean us. He wants to cause those things that are deeply set in, those things that are deeply rooted, that we have carried with us, through our child age years, our adolescent years, our young adult years. And now we are here where we are now, and we still have garbage. We still have stains. We still have scars. We still have those things that cause us to stink. We still have some stench on us from our past. We need to be thoroughly washed. We need to be thoroughly clean. And y'all, I had no intentions of going through all of this on this morning. But I just want to simply tell you to stay focused. Everything that comes to you is not to harm you. It is to help you. It is to improve you. It is to better you. It is to show you, listen, you haven't quite made it over this hurdle yet. You still got a little bit of residue, but we're going to work on that. I need you to let me take all of it out. God don't want to deliver you from some things. He want to deliver you from all of it. He's not going to come in and half clean. If you allow him, come on, if you allow him to agitate you, to get all of that out of you while you're going through the process, just stay focused. You got to stay focused in order to stay on task. You got to stay on task. You got to stay in his will. You got to stay on course. You got to stick to your assignment. You got to complete your purpose. And you have to disconnect sometimes from some people. This is the bottom line. If they're not helping you to get to where you need to go, you need to pull back. If they're not helping push you into your purpose, if they're not helping you keep you in the will, if they're not helping you to stay on track, to stay within your line, in your lane, and to push you towards purpose, to push you towards vision, to help you complete and finish your assignment, sometimes you just got to disconnect. Sometimes you just got to separate. Sometimes you just got to cut the ties. Sometimes you just got to loose the bands and the things that bind you. It doesn't always feel good. To be honest, it hurts. It hurts. It's very painful. If you love somebody and you're genuinely there for them and they're never there for you, and you got to cut and you got to sever, that hurts. Because what happens is the time that you spend with a person, you build a bond. You build a connection with that person. And separation, even pulling. Now, my nails are scratching. My skin, it's not hurting, but it's scratching. You have that resistance because they want to hold on, and you really want to hold on, but yet God says it's time to separate. He says it's time to come apart because I need you to do what I called you to do, not what you think you should be doing. Yeah, the relationship you think is the best thing for you. And you've been with your girl, you've been with your dude, you've been with your ride or die, you've been with these people for years. So there is a connection, there is a bond, there is a soul tie there. But God said it's time to release. It's time to cut the cords. It's time, and we're doing this, and it's hard. The tension is there, the hurt is there, the pain is there. But yet it's necessary. In order for us to grow, in order for us to elevate, in order for us to climb, in order for us to be the best us that we need to be, sometimes it just comes down to separation. It's necessary. I'm not telling anybody go call a friend and cut. I ain't telling you that. You know your situation. You know whether it's in business, whether it's in ministry, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your personal life, in your relationships. If you need to change doctors, your physician is not, y'all ain't connect. Sometimes you need to find another physician. If that one can't heal, well, he's not a healer, but if he can't help prescribe and to get you in a better place, then yeah, you need to find another physician. Sometimes we just got a separation. We don't like change. Honestly, come on. We don't like change. We do not like change. We do not like jumping out there in that water, in that boat, and we don't know. We haven't experienced. We don't know what the temperature, what the climate is. Yeah, we're going into this new office. We're going into this new workplace. We're going into an atmosphere that we don't know if it's conducive for us. We don't know how to read the temperature and the vibe until we arrive. Therefore, it causes us to be a little weary because we don't like to separate. Oh, Lord, she's been my friend for X and Y, Z number of years. And now, what do I have over here? Now I'm gravitating over here. You're telling me this. If you're led by the Spirit, the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God. All I'm telling you is to be led, but do not allow yourself to remain connected to someone simply because of relationship, simply because of relation. They could be your first, second, third cousin. Y'all could have been like this from out of the birth canal. As soon as you came out, y'all could have connected. But if there's a time, if they are not beneficial to you, if they're not helping you, if they're a hindrance, if they're a distraction, if they're causing you hurt, if they're causing you pain, sometimes we just got to sever the tie. Sometimes we just got to separate. I still love you, but I just can't roll with you. I still love you. How can two walk together except they are in agreement? That's the word, y'all. How can two walk together except they are in agreement? Yes, the distractions are going to come, and it's going to come in many different forms. It could be that notice you just got in the mail. It could be that phone call you just received. It could have been that text message you just read. It could have been the email that just dropped into your box. It could have been somebody that strolled into your DM because they didn't like what you said on Facebook. They didn't like what you posted on social media. They don't like how you handle a situation. The distractions are going to come, but stay focused, because sometimes separation is necessary in order for you to get to the next level, in order for you to get to the next step, in order for you to finish your course, in order for you to keep running your race, keep in your endurance, to keep persevering, and to stay in the will of God. Sometimes, y'all, we just got to separate, because we need those that's going to be flowing along with us. How can two walk together except they agree? One can chase 1,000, two could put 10,000 to flight. Are people in agreement with you? Are they in alignment with you? Are they on the same page with you? I'm not telling you to just dismiss everybody. I'm not telling you that you cannot talk to them. I'm not telling that you cannot have a commonality in a sense of being able to be cordial. That's the word I'm looking at. Cordial, not commonality, cordial. I want you to be cordial, because we serve a God of love, and we aren't in this earth to burn, hurt, criticize, damage, torment, or destroy anybody. That's the devil's job. His job is to kill, steal, and to destroy. But God said he came that you would have life and that you would have it more abundant. Are you speaking life? Or the person that's running with you, the person that you are yoked up with, running with you, or do you need to sever the yoke? Do you need to break the yoke? Because if you take an egg, you got the yolk that's in the middle, then you got the white on the outside. And sometimes when you're baking a cake or you're cooking a particular meal, it's more specific because I know about the baking of the cake, because my mom used to bake all the time. And I would watch her and I was like, what are you doing? She was like, it's called for egg white. So you got to separate the yolk. And she would take it and she'd flip. Once she crack it, she'd flip it. And I just watch how she separated the yolk. Who this for this morning? Separated the yolk from the white. Because the ingredient for that particular product and what she was making, item, cake, or whatever it was that she was making, required the whites. Some required just the yolk, which means it's a separation. But when you cook it, and whichever one you're putting in that product, guess what? It was needed. It was necessary in order for that dish to come out the way it was designed to, with the ingredients that it needed to come out and it tastes good. But had you kept it mixed, again, we're talking about separation is not always bad. Another example. So whatever in the separation of that egg, and whichever part you used in your recipe, and you slipped it on in the oven, and when it came out, it was like divine, delicioso. You enjoyed it. But what would have happened if you wouldn't have separated that egg and you put it all in there? That was not a part of the recipe ingredients. So separation, y'all, is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you just have to separate from people, again, to allow yourself to develop, to grow, to mature. It's maturation season. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to grow. And sometimes that requires separation. Yes, it may be painful. Yes, you may figure out how in the world, Lord, give me a strategy how to do this, because this gonna be a hard thing. But if he told you to do it, guess what? He gonna show you how to do it. Who you rather please, God or man? Be encouraged on today. This is Lysandra Brooks. Please like, tag, share, call someone, tell them, check out the replay. Thank you for joining me on this morning. I am the Queen of Conquering, helping hurting and struggling women to conquer life issues one issue at a time. Also speaking into the lives of my brothers. I wish you all well. Just know sometimes separation is necessary. Sometimes we just got to cut them loose. Sometimes we got to just sever the ties. Sometimes we just got to come and pull ourselves up and place ourselves in another place, not thinking that we're better than anybody. We stay humble at all times. We let the love of God shine through us at all times, not thinking that we're better than anybody, not trying to put ourselves up on a pedestal. But when God has an assignment for you, who you gonna please, God or man? Y'all, I'm telling you, whoo, child, I don't know. I don't know who this for. Well, one person is for this one right here. Come on. I tell you, when I talk to y'all, I'm very transparent. I'm very transparent. And I don't mind telling y'all, look, your girl need to separate from some stuff. Your girl need to separate from some things. You take here's another example real quick. You take a drug addict, a person that is dealing with drugs. You don't go drop them off at the drug house and think they're going to sit up in there and be okay. You're dealing with alcoholic. Why would you go to the bar? Why would you go to the daiquiri shop? Why do you go to the place where liquor is served and you are expected to drink? Why would you go there? You on a diet. Why are you going to all you can eat buffet? And you know you don't have no self-control. Brooks. Lala. Why? Think about it. Separation, you got to come out and from among. You got to pull yourself away from to get to where God is taking you. If you are a believer and you are trusting God and to lead your life, to lead you to follow him, his instructions, his plan, his purpose, his will, sometimes I'm going to give you this one and I got to go, y'all. Think about Abraham and his son that he had been praying for. He got, and we went to sacrifice the very thing he loved. Come on. Now, if he was willing to put the knife to his only son, what he had prayed for, what God, the promised child, and we can't even separate from down here. Separation can lead to your greatest moment, your greatest time. And separation does not mean you may not come back together ever again. It just may be a temporary separation. But this is where you seek God for answers. You seek him for direction. You seek him for the plan and the purpose. If you say you want to be in his will, you got to follow his instructions, no matter how bad they may talk about you, no matter what they say about you. We've been friends over 50 years. We've been friends for 60 something years. We came up in kindergarten together. You slept in my house. I slept at your house. We wore each other's clothes. We used each other's toothbrush. I mean, we was close. I mean, and now all of a sudden we find ourselves drifting apart. We find ourselves separated. Sometimes we don't always grow at the same rate, or we're on the same path as our counterparts, or those that we are associated with. So there is a need for separation, necessary separation. Sometimes separation is necessary. Sometimes. I love you guys. This is Lysandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala. I'm reminding you to always be your authentic self. Quitting is never ever an option, and you are a person with purpose. I love you. Sometimes separation is necessary. Sometimes separation is not always a bad thing. It could be a good thing. It could be a temporary thing. But sometimes we just got to cut them loose and know that it's for purpose and it is for your betterment. Love you guys. Until next time, I will see you later. Gotta go.